Well, I'm up here today doing some testing with my long range rig, and I've realised I haven't spoken much about the actual setup of it, so I thought it was about time I did. The rifle itself is a 7mm Rem mag. It's a Seiko Rough-Tech range, which has a 26-inch barrel. The overall rifle, as you see it here, minus the bipod, isn't light. It's about 13.5 pounds, so it's not something you'd want to lug around too far. But for me, this is something that pretty much just gets put on the ground and sits and waits. And it's worked very well for me. Since I've had it, which is probably a bit over a year or so now, I've done a little bit of load testing. Obviously, you've seen the deer that I've shot with it. I primarily started off with the 168 grain VLD hunting, and they're very, very accurate. The jury's out a little bit on whether they're the best performing hunting bullet. I'm still not 100% convinced. I've also using the 162 grain Hornady SST, and now today I'm testing the 162 grain ELDX. I did try the 175 ELDX in this. Didn't like them. Didn't like them at all. If it was a machine gun, it would have grouped well, but the best group I could get was about 1.5 inches. Now, I've just finished firing and testing the 162s in the ELDX hunting, and they perform as good as any of the others. The groups I've shot this morning is, if anything, it'll be my error, but that's actually a 4-shot group, 2 and 2, 2 and 2. It's got to be 3rd minute of angle or better, but what I like about it, very little muzzle velocity variation between rounds. It's probably a 15 to 20 feet per second. So I'll take that every day over a 1/4 minute of angle group with sort of 40 or 50 feet per second variation between shots. This is the key for long range hunting. Minimum velocity variation between shots. Obviously it needs to be accurate, but if I can get down a 1/3 minute of angle or less, I'm good to go. Now, the other thing with this round that I've tested today, and I will do a trajectory validation to confirm these velocities, but we're talking a lot faster. I don't know why, but we're talking sort of 3170 feet per second, which is pretty bloody quick for a 162 grain 7mm round. Anyway, the rifle itself is pretty stock. The trigger, I always change the trigger springs, and this one's running about 1.25 pounds. It's as crisp as typical of most Seiko triggers. What I do like about this rifle is it's got a good stock. It gets a little bit of flex in the front here, not much. It's got an aluminium bedding plate moulded into it. The butt pad is very good. Actually, it's probably the better one of the Seiko pads I've seen. It does come with 2 spacers. I've got one of them in there. I run an Atlas monopod and an Atlas front bipod. I did take the 2 fixing screws out of here and basically put in just a short rail just to make it easy to clip this on and off. Now, moving on to the scope. The scope is a beast. Well, actually it's not the beast. The beast I didn't like because of the high turret, but it's a Nightforce. It's a new first focal plane ATAC R, 5 to 25 by 56. It's got MOA reticle, MOA turrets. I run a 0 MOA rail. I don't see the need for the distances I shoot to go to a 20 MOA or greater. This will get me well out beyond where my bullet's got at least 1,000 foot-pounds of energy left, and that's what I rely on for my hitting and killing of deer at any distance. Once that bullet's going under 1,000 foot-pounds of hitting power, that's about the extent of the range of that rifle for me. So in this case, now don't quote me, but I think it's around 1,100 yards. I still have just on 1,000 foot-pounds of hitting power. Now, that to me is probably well beyond what I'm going to be shooting deer at. So the rifle itself is very good value for money. The scope is running Nightforce rings. The scope is just fantastic. The illumination, take it or leave it, I'd never use it. think I've maybe turned it on once or twice. It can go from red to green if you want, and obviously dim it down and up. It's actually just a matter of pressing this button here. It's really good. It comes with the Tenebrax scope covers, which are actually quite good. This one actually screws into the end as part of it, and this one slips over the end. So the rifle itself, you've seen what it can do. I'm not a paper target shooter, and I never get the best out of them on paper, but I seem to do alright on the live targets, and it's done its job so far for me. Have no regrets. For a rifle that's sub $2,000 Australian, really it's just a matter of you getting the best out of it with your hand loads. Now, it's the first rifle that I've actually gone to the extent of neck turning my hand loads, and I started off with a 168 grain VLDs, neck turned them using Norma brass, and I ended up with 1.5 thou of neck tension. Now, the burgers in this rifle will not fit in the mag if you want to get them close to lands. I've got them at 20 thou off the lands, and I can tell you now, overall length for this roughly is 87.5 millimeters or 3.447 inches. Now, the ELDX 162s, I thought I'm going to set these up to just fit in the magazine. Now they're 3.31 inches or 84.2 millimeters. Now you will see that this just fits into the mag. So those measurements, if you need to know what you're going to get as far as whether you're going to be able to seat something out really long, I don't think you're going to be able to, but really long range shooting, it's all over in the first shot, to be honest with you. So you can't top feed these. A lot of people say you can, but you can't. Those clips in the magazines stop you from doing it, but again, the magazine's not a deal breaker for me. I actually single round feed most of my shots anyway, because like I said, I'll put one in here and then just keep one there. I can pretty much cycle it fast enough if I have to. But the overall package is very good value. It shoots well. It does what I want it to do. There you have it.